Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HB 2876 is a locally supported funding tool to facilitate non-tolled transportation projects. I move passage.
Mr. Schoolcraft, for what purpose?
Would the gentleman yield for some questions?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Mr. Gerdes, could you tell us what this bill does?
Sure. This bill allows TxDOT to revise its existing agreement with SH-130 Concession Company for an additional time if the amendment outlines the public benefit and is agreed to by TxDOT and SH-130. And the funds are used for non-toll transportation projects approved by the counties where they are located.
Okay, what is SH-130?
It's it's the toll road that goes through part of my district, SH-130, sections 5 and 6.
Okay, it runs from Georgetown up in Williamson County down through Travis County, through your county, then down to Interstate 10. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, and did you say this bill would extend the the contract time?
Right.
Okay. For how long?
That is to be defined, but not more than 20 years.
Not more than 20 years. Okay. I noticed like the very first sentence where you start adding code in here, the wording is notwithstanding subsection H, etc. So that's the preceding subsection paragraph. Do you happen to know what that says?
Which section are you talking about?
Subsection H. It's not in the bill. This bill starts right after subsection H.
Yeah, right. So, say that again.
All right. Your bill starts off with the words, notwithstanding subsection H, the department shall amend, etc. I just wanted to find out if you knew what subsection H provides.
I'm not advised.
Okay. Well, see if this sounds right. Subsection H looks like it says a comprehensive development agreement, and that would be a toll road agreement, with a private participant that includes a collection of private tolls for the use of the toll project, may be for a term not longer than 50 years. So isn't it correct that would set the standard that a cap for a toll road project is 50 years?
That would, unless this is passed and renegotiated and in line with the public benefit and TxDOT and SH-130.
Okay, but right now, the law is no toll road project can extend for longer than 50 years, and your bill is proposing to let them extend it for an additional 20 years, putting it up to 70. Is that correct?
Up to.
Okay. So I did a little quick chat GPT check on this, and it only had half of the length of the toll road, but it said it generated about $345 million a year in tolls. For 20 years, that's a few $billion. What do the people of Texas get in exchange for letting this toll company generate a few more $1 billion?
Well, you know, this was agreed to by a lot of the local folks that I represent, and I am doing what we're supposed to be doing as elected representatives of the folks we represent, because, you know, we have a lot of growth going on down in Caldwell County, and the folks that are supportive of this is the Caldwell County Judge and the Commissioner's Court, Lockhart Mayor, City Council, Seguin Mayor, City Council, Greater San Antonio Chamber, New Braunfels Chamber and Economic Development, New Braunfels Mayor, Austin Chamber, Metro San Antonio Chamber, Lockhart EDC, Seguin EDC, etc.
Okay,
so what? Go ahead.
What is it that they're getting for that? Are there what roads are going to be improved by this?
Well,
is the toll road going to be rebuilt? What are they going to do with this money?
No, this goes for non-tolled projects, and it's up to the locals to decide what they want this to go for.
Well, actually, I don't see where it says it's up to the locals to decide. The way I read this bill, it's up to TxDOT to decide.
In conjunction with the county.
No, where does it say that?
Well, that's my understanding of the bill.
Well, okay, let's think about this. That's a good point. What is the purpose of this? Okay,
Yeah.
they're going to build roads. I mean, I remember I was approached about this project previously, and they said it was to build connector roads to between I-35 and 130. Was that your understanding?
This doesn't have anything to do with the connector roads. This is, I mean, let's see here. So the 130, there's a lot of infrastructure
Down
there.
on line 23, it says transportation projects between Interstate Highway 35 and State Highway 130.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have anything to do with I-35.
Well, it says projects between Interstate Highway 35 and State Highway 130. What does that mean?
That's part of the exemptions, is the I-35 expansion or other tolled projects. This doesn't go toward tolled projects.
So are you telling me there's just going to be, are they new roads that are going to be built? I mean, what are they going to do with this money?
Some new roads, some maintaining of roads that are in desperate need of repair.
Have they identified anything that's going to be done with this money?
That's between TxDOT, the concession, and the local representatives, the Metropolitan Planning Organization.
Well, actually, the way I read this again, it's between TxDOT it's between TxDOT.
In conjunction with the local. And,
Show me in the bill where it says in conjunction with the locals.
well, you want to come down here?
Sure. Well, actually, do you have a copy of the bill right there?
Paragraph J.
Just tell me which line.
Subparagraph J.
It's in subparagraph J.
Last few lines.
Last few lines.
All right. It says it must be approved by the county in which the project. They don't get to choose them. They only get to approve whatever TxDOT proposes.
Well, then they don't have to approve it.
Then they don't get anything. TxDOT what? Puts the money someplace else?
Well, I think that they would be working with the locals, don't you?
I don't really know. My suspicion would be if TxDOT has projects planned or will be doing projects, they'll decide they're going to pay for it with this toll money instead of going through appropriations process.
I think that they would be working with my locals that I represent.
All right. Well,
Move, Pat. Go ahead.
Martinez, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield for a couple of questions?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Sure.
Gentleman yields for questions.
So, Representative, we understand that comprehensive development agreements are a positive when it comes to roads. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, this helps for the maintenance and operation of these roads. Is that correct?
That's right.
So, when we have a road such as SH 130 and we have a comprehensive development agreement, if something would happen to where a company would go defunct or something would happen, it wouldn't go back on the state to pay for that. Is that correct?
That's right.
Right. So these comprehensive development agreements would be a positive for the state and for the locals, to where it's a protection to where we can continue to maintain the maintenance and operation of the road in TxDOT, and so that our public could make sure that their funds are secured. Is that correct?
That's 100%.
Absolutely.
correct.
You have a great bill, and I'm in support of it.
Thank you. Move passage.
Mr. Schoolcraft in opposition.
You should have learned from your first term. You should have learned from your first term how bad you are.
You told me you were going to vote.
Members, please take your seats. Members, please take your seats. Mr. Schoolcraft in opposition.
all right, I guess everybody's paying attention. Mr. Speaker, members, this bill is a blank check to TxDOT. The toll road in question generates hundreds of millions of dollars per year, And this bill lets TxDOT extend this contract for up to 20 additional years. That equates to several $billion more going to this toll road construction consortium at TxDOT's discretion. In exchange for this incredibly generous concession, the citizens of Texas will get what? We don't know. We just let TxDOT decide what they're going to do with the money, what roads they're going to spend it on, what they're going to do with it.
Mr. Patterson, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield for questions?
Does the gentleman
Not at
yield
this
for
time.
questions? Not at this time.
I asked some of our colleagues who have been here for several decades whether they have ever seen this kind of scheme before. Here's the bottom line. This bill is a massive giveaway to State Highway 130 Toll Road Consortium and a multi-billion-dollar funding bonanza for TxDOT. All of this is being done while bypassing all of our standard legislative oversight and safeguards. I'll yield.
Mr. Patterson, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Patterson, for what purpose?
will the gentleman yield for questions?
Gentleman yield for questions.
I will yield.
Gentleman yields for questions.
Okay, you asked members that have been here for several decades,
I did.
and they said that they don't support this.
No, I didn't say that. I said they had not seen a scheme like this before.
Okay.
Where you extend a toll road contract for up to 20 years and give TxDOT total discretion on what to do with it.
Oh, well, you know that's not true, sir. TxDOT doesn't have total discretion on these dollars. That's right.
No, I don't know that.
You don't know how TxDOT operates?
I know that what this spells out in the bill.
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you about how
absolutely.
TxDOT
You want to
operates.
know if that's true. So let's
No,
see
I
what
wanna
the
know
bill
how
says.
TxDOT operates,
Any
sir.
funds received.
Members, please make sure you're not talking over each other so we can all hear your debate.
I know you haven't been
you asked
here
a-
in a while.
You asked
but
a
I'm
question.
asking you a question
You
about
asked
how
a question,
TxDOT
and
operates, sir.
then let me answer your question.
You're not answering my question.
You ask the question, I'll decide how to answer it. The bill says any funds received under this section must be used by the department or on behalf of the department using the department's procurement procedures for the design, financing, construction, maintenance, and operation of non-tolled transportation projects between Interstate Highway 35 and State Highway 30. That's it.
So the bill outlines that the dollars raised will go towards transportation projects in that area, right?
No, it doesn't say that. Somewhere along
In
SH
that
130.
area, in between this area and that area is an
Sure,
area.
absolutely.
Okay, and so when TxDOT funds a project, how do they determine which projects to fund?
In
conjunction with the local government.
They can or they can't.
In conjunction with the local government.
In which department, okay? We got 4 counties involved here. How's that money going to be divided between the counties?
Is
we
this
heard,
your
we heard
district?
about Caldwell County. They're
this
the ones
your district?
pushing this. What about Williamson? What
Is
about
this your
Travis?
district?
What about Guadalupe?
Is this your district?
My county is in there, yes. One of my counties.
One of your counties is in this area.
Sure.
So they stand to get extra funds for
They
non-toll
may
roads.
or they may not. We have no idea what's
Did
going
you
to
ask
happen
your
with this
local
money.
officials?
They don't know what's going to come with this. They were told, "Oh, yeah, we'll work something out once we figure out what
Who
happens
told
here."
them that?
The lobbyist for this SH 130 consortium.
So
talking
instead of
them into
talking
this.
to the bill author or to you as their representative, they only talk to the lobbyist?
The lobbyist talks to all of them. You know how that. Don't you know how lobbyists operate? You've been around
They're
here
not
enough
talking to
to
my
know
entire
how
city councils
lobbyists
in every
operate.
city that I represent.
Members, please make sure you're not talking over each other.
When TxDOT funds a project, the locals are involved.
Which locals? We don't even know which county
Between
this will
point
go
A
to.
and point B that is outlined in the bill.
And the bill author is from Caldwell County. What kind of input will Williamson County have? What kind of input will Travis County have? What kind of input will Guadalupe? But the essence of this is it's the first time ever that we've given TxDOT the authority to extend a contract beyond 50 years up to as much as 70 years. It's their discretion.
Do you have counties in your district that are not included between point A and point B in this bill?
What difference does that make
That's the
with
question
bill?
that I asked. That's what difference it makes.
Well, let's talk about this bill. What does this bill do?
Do you have counties that are not included between point A and point B in this bill?
What difference does that make?
I'm about to
relative
tell you the
this bill?
difference if you'll
Okay,
answer
then
the
tell
question.
Me.
Do you have counties that are not between point A and point B in this bill?
Yes.
Would you agree that TxDOT has a limited amount of funds to build roads in this state?
They will always have limited funds.
So if
They will
TxDOT
always.
has limited
everything we
funds-
do here is limited.
So if TxDOT has limited funds to build roads in this state, and TxDOT is going to get extra money paid for by these drivers to build roads between point A and point
I've
B,
been here for 40
doesn't that free up money for the other counties in your district to get additional TxDOT dollars because TxDOT's not having to spend money out of the highway fund for these counties in this specific area between point A and point
Let's
B?
talk about what this bill does. This bill, for the first time ever, extends the contract or gives TxDOT discretion to extend a toll contract beyond 50 years, up to as much as 70 years. It gives them the discretion to do that, and it gives them the total discretion to decide what to do with the funds.
TxDOT always works with the MPO and the locals on the ground to do projects. That's the way they work. And the locals have a chance to push their projects higher if they will go in and invest some money on the front end on a project. Is that not correct?
That's once they know how much money TxDOT is going to put into that area.
That is not true, sir.
Yes, it is. And then they figure out what the priorities are. They work with TxDOT, but we don't know where TxDOT is going to be putting this money.
Counties will go ahead and do work on the front end of a project to push a project forward so that TxDOT will prioritize that project. Counties do that all over the state of Texas. Surely you're aware of that.
Mr. Patterson, I'm going to say it one more time. We don't even know what county or counties this money will be spent in. We have no idea what TxDOT's purpose, plans, priorities, anything.
Have you asked them?
I don't even know about the legislation until 2 weeks ago. Members, this is a terrible bill. It's a terrible precedent. We've never done anything like this before. I ask you to look carefully and don't let us go down this road.
Mr. Gerdes to close. Mr. Tinderholt, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, will the gentleman yield?
Gentleman yield for questions.
Yes, sir.
Gentleman yields.
I'm pretty confident you and I can change the temperature in the room, right?
Let's do it.
All right. Just going to ask a couple questions. Are you aware that Platform Plank 51 of the Republican Party of Texas is against toll roads?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you also aware that, are you in Williamson County?
No.
Okay. The platform specifically says that they call on the Texas legislature to abolish existing toll roads and prohibit future construction, returning responsibility for road construction and maintenance to the appropriate jurisdiction. I just want to remind all members that. And so I'm going to be voting against this strictly because of that. I respect how you've laid this out. I'm sorry that it's gotten a little bit feisty, but I'm going to be voting against this, and thank you for lowering the temperature in the room. I appreciate you.
Mr. Patterson, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Gentleman yield for questions.
Yes, sir.
Gentleman yields.
Mr. Gerdes, do you represent Seguin?
I do not.
You do not. Is that in Representative Schoolcraft's district?
It is.
Would it surprise you that the mayor and city council in Seguin passed a resolution supporting your bill?
It would not surprise me.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I move passage.
Question occurs on passage and engrossment of House Bill 2876. Clerk, ring the bell. Mr. Garcia voting aye. Busey voting aye. Mr. Romero voting nay. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? There being 88 ayes and 42 nays, House Bill 2876 is passed to engrossment.